Can you imagine this place? That it's so perfect, so beautiful in every way, where there is no disease, no suffering, no poverty, where there is no war. Yes, there comes a time in our consciousness where we have to own our own power in this world. That is also the world. Every person, every nation, we are. Cannot be any more excuses to why we are not doing this. No excuses. Our decisions cannot be based on our families, our communities, our governments. Now we are in charge. I am in charge of how this world is gonna be. I'm in charge. We are in charge to create better environments and better worlds. And if I wish to live in a better world, that it's based on love and goodness for all, then I must create that. I must create a vision that it's beautiful for the world. I must view, think, and act in this way, no matter what, no matter the oppositions. And to do this, we have to start from the first step, which is to deny all evil. To be blind to it, to ignore it, to make it disappear from our minds first. Our focus should only be in the good, in what feels good, in what is helpful for the good of all. Let us deny diseases, absolutely and completely. And let us try to educate ourselves about how it is to be in optimate health. We must start to listen to our bodies. Because if we start to listen more, they will start to talk more. Because our own bodies know how to heal themselves and how to go back to balance again. We must shift this mainstream ideas and put in ourselves our own power. The health of our bodies is in our own hands. Just want to say here that I'm not a medical profession. I'm not a medical professional in any way. If you have serious conditions, please visit your local doctor. But I am trying to emphasize something I learned long time ago, back when I studied Ayurvedica, which is Indian medicine, that was around 5,000 years ago, if not more, in which you emphasize prevention. You take ownership of your own health, in the sense that I see many people these days, they don't rest. And then they go take the pill, right? Then they go to the doctor, who is not there every day to see their habits, to see if they love their bodies or not, right? Like you feel the first sign of a cold, right? Which is a cycle. It's a natural cycle of the body, because it's also sending away something bad, right? And we call it a disease. Then we complain about it, and then we make this huge deal of it, so big that suddenly we lost control of it, right? Suddenly it's not a natural expression of your body to sometimes to sneeze, or to have a little dripping nose. Those things are natural. It happens, but yeah, and I feel it's much better when we see those signs of the first cold, for example, to talk about smoother things, because like I said, if you have an emergency, please go to the doctor, because, right, it has gone over the phase where you could have listened to it, but you didn't, and so except accidents, of course. But we should emphasize this taking care of us first, of listening to our bodies, of being in touch with the cycles. You cannot go further all day long, right? Because then you will fall down. Like, this is basic knowledge, but somehow we blind ourselves with it, and then we go take the pills, and then we go, that it's a huge problem, right? Because then people cannot sleep without taking a pill, because people cannot catch a cold and it's a trauma thing, or you know what I mean. Let's take ownership of these things, let us avoid them all we can, because most diseases, they are not diseases, they are symptoms. They are honestly love, because our body is telling us, look, I have this thing. It was in your field first, in your etherical field first, but now I have to materialize it. I have to put it in your face. So now it's a disease, right? Most of them, we can heal them while they're still in our fields, while they are still not in matter, right? Or as big. And so we should listen to our bodies, because our bodies knows how to do things, right? If you're tired, you could sleep. If you're hungry, you eat. If you are thirsty, you drink a glass of water. Is a conversation we must have, right? And we all know this conversation. We have to take it further, And we know hunger, but Can we feel when something is off in our environment? Because our body knows. If something bad happens outside, the dogs will bark, right? We know this. The animals to feel when there's big shifts in their environment, like big storms, tsunamis, volcanoes erupting, earthquakes, all these things. The animals know it. We are animals, right? Are we animals? Because our body is still an animal and it can feel all of this, right? Let us listen to it and let us avoid all type of disease. Let's be at ease, right? As many teachers talk about it, because disease is a lack of ease. Let us be easy. And we must deny it also and ignore, just push aside all type of suffering, the one we created by not being fully present, by worrying too much, by not trusting, overthinking, we create lots of suffering by not trusting, by not enlightening ourselves about the true nature of life, that is always loving. Of course, suffering is created by gravity. We need to somehow be down in order to live as humans in the earth, right? We have to have some kind of retention, but we are not trees anymore, right? We are movable beings. We are not rocks. We are not stuck anymore. So yes, we still have to deal with some type of gravity. We still need to suffer a little. Also because every time we come down, it helps us to go further in heights. So, like I said, we must study and try to be enlightened, and remember that there is a good spirit around us. There is this wish of the earth and the cosmos for us to be loved, for us to be healed, for us to be in that perfect point, right? For us to be neutral. No, it's not even about being super happy or achieving some type of beautiful state. No, we just want to be without we must allow Earth to give us our own so-called negativity, our own gravity, right? But it shouldn't be our job to make that gravity even more heavy, right? We also should not go against it. not against suffering. Like I said, it is needed. It is needed in this dance between the earth and the sky. It is needed because eventually, I don't like to think this way, but yes, eventually in 100 years, 200 years from now, all of us are going to die, and of course the heart will go on, like we learned from Celine. And our soul is ever-ending and eternal, but our bodies are going to die. We are going to get in a state of unease eventually, right? We have to go through this so-called sufferings, but and this reminds me very much of one of my first big masters and teachers, Buddha, because it's a part of his story, right? So he talks about suffering, right? About not being free, about having to deal with this gravity forces, and how we must be compassionate about people that are suffering or going through anything. But there are layers between seeing as something we must suffer to, or seeing it in a part of life way, right? Either way, we must not go against suffering also, because not accepting it as a part of life it makes it bigger, and it's not something you want to do. Absolutely not. We need to acknowledge it, like I said. And it ends here the first part of the Heaven on Earth video. So if you want to see the second part, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and comment. If you don't know what to say, please leave me a little star or a heart. I'm gonna be super appreciated about it, and I hope this had brought some light to your life. Thank you for being there, and I'll see you soon.